Obsession continues, and Alan Cummings celebrates the art of obsession. But first, please welcome the person DCI Gene Hunt called Bolly Knickers. It's Keeley Hawes. Oh, Keeley, we have people sitting there, those lovely girls in the front row who are obsessed with you.
So lovely.
Have you met them before? Do they follow you around?
Yes, I have met them before.
Isn't that fantastic to have your own groupies?
I know.
They're like
Very, very
they're like a
gorgeous
band.
groupies.
They're like a girl band.
I'm going to ask you, actually, would you like to see a clip of her in Ashes to Ashes? Yeah. OK, let's do it. Here we go. Here's Keeley in Ashes to Ashes. OK. Let's talk about obsessions. The girls like that. I got totally obsessed with Ashes to Ashes because you don't know where you're going with it. It was all mystery, the fantastic characters, the writing.
It was fantastic. I loved it. I loved being part of it. It was really... I really miss them. Looking at that now, I think, oh, God, you know, you get to know people over 3 years so well, you know, working together so closely with them. They're all coming to see the show. I'm doing a play, so they're all coming to see the show. So
we'll talk about the play in a minute, but bless them, they'll all be in the front row screaming for you, will they? But actually, well, do you now get obsessed with being on stage, doing it to a live audience in this play?
It's a completely new thing for me because I've never done a play. So the
I
whole
can't
thing,
believe that.
I opened.
You've never been on stage?
No, not. I mean, no.
Why not? Was it something you sort of actively avoided, or did it just happen?
No, it wasn't. Well, I've been lucky enough to be involved in series television for basically the last 10 years in one way or another from Spooks, and so you sort of know that for 6 months of the year, as you know, you're going to be tied up. It's always been quite difficult to fit something in, and then I didn't want to go sort of full steam ahead with a huge part in something and kind of lay myself bare and then find out I didn't like it or it didn't suit me or it just didn't work.
And I guess the more the kind of more established you are, the more
I know, the more frightening
scary it is.
became.
Yeah.
So then this lovely play, Rocket to the Moon, came up, and it's a very nice part. I play the wife of a dentist, Ben Stark. I play Belle, and it's an ensemble piece, and Jessica Raine and Joseph Musson are the leads, really. So I didn't want to. I just wanted to go very quietly in.
Opening at the National Theatre.
Opening at the
Exactly. I've never been on stage before, so I thought the first thing I'd do is be at the National.
Yeah, I just...
Yeah.
But it's a very nice little part, but it's a great part, so I'm glad that I waited this long for the right thing.
Is it a
to come along.
surprise to you to be able to hear the audience? Because on television sets, everything is...
It was a huge shock, and I dried.
No.
It was a huge shock. Nobody realised that I don't think so. And Joe saved me. But it's so... 900 people suddenly laughing, and you're used to being on a set which is, you know, if you hear a pin drop, you start again, and you can't have any... So suddenly, to have a reaction from, you know, I'm 35. I can't do that sort of shock now.
25.
I can't... Yeah, it was huge, and I sort of... And now I'm starting to enjoy it. And I'm really pleased that I've done it.
Well, that's the other thing. In rehearsal room, you're not getting those big laughs.
No,
People are sitting going...
At the end of 6 weeks rehearsal, we were all sort of getting quite into it, you know, and we were treating it as quite a serious play by the end. And so the first preview, when everybody started laughing, for one thing, it was like, what are you laughing about? This is tragic. And then, you know, it was just getting used to every aspect of it. And I'm very glad I did.
Well, the best comedy is always played straight. That's what makes it
Well,
funny,
right.
isn't it, Alan?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Be as big as you like, as long as you mean it.
Good tip.
Good mantra.
good.
Take it, use it as yours.
Good, thank you. Well, so that's Rocket to the Moon and the National. And then you mentioned yourself Spooks there. Zoe Reynolds, of course, who disappeared into Chile, never to be seen from again. But you did at least meet your gorgeous husband, Matthew McFadden, while you did that. What a treat.
I know.
Am I allowed to ask, did you fall in love on set, or...?
Sort of towards the end of it, I realised that I... But actually, somebody asked me yesterday or this morning, I can't remember, whether I believed in love at first sight. And I said, actually, the first time I set eyes on my husband, I thought, oh, I could have shaved. No, I mean, it definitely wasn't immediate.
What was your first impression of your husband?
Well...
Does he use Veet?
That's complicated. No, because I met him a long time before the magic began. But I thought he was like... I remember him having sparkly eyes.
Oh,
And rather bizarrely, we have the same... Well, I didn't realise until we got together. We have the same eyes, like the same colour.
I was going to say, you've got very sparkly eyes.
Why, thanks.
So the pair of you must dazzle each other.
It's blinding. You have to wear sunglasses at all times when we're at home.
No mirrors anywhere. No chandeliers. Oh, grim.
Yeah, we're like sparkly vampires. We can't look at ourselves in the mirror.
The other thing about obsessions is, because Alan's going to do a bit more about obsessions later, is Ashes to Ashes became my obsession and becomes other people's obsession. So you actually go to the sci-fi conventions now.
Yes, I do.
Are these girls part of that as well?
They might have been
Sounds like
seen
it.
at one or two.
So do they walk in looking like you, dressing like you?
Yes, they do. Not all, not everybody, but yeah, you do see some people who have gone to great lengths with the costumes.
Because I wouldn't have put it down as sci-fi. Did you see Ashes to Ashes? Were you over here?
No, I did. But it's this, isn't it the same as the one before?
Life on Mars.
So it's about going back in time and you say... Yeah. I suppose time travel.
Under time travel.
Sci-fi is
it
quite a
time
wide
travel?
brief these days, I think.
Is it?
I think so, yeah, because I did a thing that was like about the Wizard of Oz that was called Tin Man, and it was called sci-fi. It was a sci-fi thing.
Oh, I'm going to call this sci-fi now then.
Yeah.
This is a very sci-fi hour.
We get to go to all those conventions.
So we're all going backwards in time, forwards in time. So do people come dressed up as Jean?
They do.
No!
Jean comes dressed up, but not as Jean.
It's a sickness, you see. Are they on your website?
There's a lot of that. I mean, I think, like, you know, I've done those things because I was in that X-Men film and something. And like when you go to the Trekkies, Star Trek people, that type of fan is a very ardent...
Loyal fan.
Yes. So there's a lot of those on It's a Sickness.
I'm going to have to go and have a look at this. This is great, because we all do have a sickness of some kind, don't we? So, Keeley, you're a working mum, you've got your children, you're playing in the theatre most nights. I suppose you're in repertoire, though, while you're over there.
Yes.
So not so bad. So do you have time to do other things as well?
I do have time to do other things. I mean, I've got 3 children, so I try to make time for them. So, yeah, I and then I'm starting Upstairs Downstairs again in October. So I've got the summer off. I have the summer off with the children. And then after the play finishes in June, and then I'm off for the summer, and then October back
Upstairs
down to
Downstairs
Cardiff.
starts in October.
Yes,
Up and down to
indeed.
Cardiff for Upstairs
Yes.
Downstairs. Shall we have a quick look at the last series, or the last 3 episodes that were made of the new lot of the...
Of
Man,
the old
I
lot,
don't know
the
where I
new.
am. Let's have a look.
Did anybody see you? No, my lady. Codling 2 penn'orth as you asked, no salt, plenty of vinegar.
It was the vinegar smell that's driving me wild. The builders seem to have them every day.
Oh, shall I fetch a plate for you, my lady?
Nobody's looking. Can I tempt you?
No, thank you, my lady.
A ciggy and chips.
It's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Well, we can't wait to see the new 6 episodes. Will they be out in the next
I'm
spring
not
or
sure.
something?
I'm not sure. We start shooting in October, so the turnaround could be quite quick.
OK. You are also doing something very important for a certain coffee company.
Yes, I am. I am launching today the Kenco Millicano Taste Setters campaign.
What does that mean?
Which is basically people can go onto the Facebook page and talk about what they are loving right now. So it could be anything. It could be you. It could be you.
This is like-
it could be your website.
It's like my idea.
Basically, it's
Those
your
Kenko
idea.
people stealing my idea.
It could be anything. And then ultimately, at the end of the campaign, Kenko are going to choose 10 official trend makers.
Exciting.
So, and it can actually be anything. It can be fashion, beauty. It can be something you're into, like knitting, or, you know, like me, not you.
Don't go to me. Knitting. I don't
Yeah,
knit.
you know, knitting. No, me. I
do
like to
Teddy's
knit.
scarves and things.
Yeah. Teddy scarves.
Teddy's scarves. Lovely. It'll always work.
What are Teddy's scarves?
Well, you try and start knitting one for your child.
Right.
It ends up, you get
Like
bored,
that.
just like that, and it
Yeah.
ties around a teddy.
Like you put it in the tumble dryer sort of thing.
Yeah.
I had to do some
washed ever.
knitting in upstairs, downstairs, and I did get letters.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I did.
Now, look here. What time does the show start for you at the National?
Oh, yes, I have to run.
We better
Not
let her
literally
go.
run.
Ladies
I
and
have to get in
gentlemen,
the car.
Keeley Hawes. Now, last week, you can just stay for a minute. Last week,